on, babies.
Let that one go all the way through there, didn't you, Ray?
No, because I didn't have enough because we didn't run an email today, so that's why.
Oh, yeah, we're flying blind. I'm in Vegas, and things are off the handle, off the rails already. Producer Ray is going to do his best. I'm going to shit on him the entire time because he made my life hell. But I would like to tell you what I would like to say. I would like to say this. Here's who else is making some people's lives hell or about to. Elliot Wolf. Who's in charge down there, Bobby? Who's in charge in Foxborough? Do we really know? And did Mike Vrabel just subtly tell us he's going to burn cash via Gerard Mayo last year? What the fuck is happening down there in Foxborough? We're going to get a live report from the Combine with the new head coach of the New England Patriots and get some answers. That's what I'd like. I'd like some answers. Until then, let's start with some opening takes. Raymond?
Great. Mike Vrabel saying all the right things. Down in the Combine, like you just said, Rich, he's meeting with the media. Earlier this week, Vrabel checking every Patriots fan's wet dream. In order to win, you need to get good players. Check. You got to spend money on that one car. It's unique. It's priceless. Of course, it's going to cost you a lot more money. Check. And then I wouldn't take this job if I couldn't have final say on the roster. Check. And in my vinegar stroke face, ooh, we're there. Because Mike Vrabel said all that this week, and it's perfect.
Awesome. Nailed it, Ray. Great job.
Yep,
Bobby?
thank you. Oh, God.
All right, we've gotten to this time of the year again. I know everybody is excited. It is that time, and you guessed it. It's Tournament of Champions, Season 6. Food Network starts off this Sunday. It is back. We get to watch these culinary warriors battle. Once again, it is fantastic. We will watch it, and we will enjoy it.
Bobby Flay Burgers right downstairs. You a Bobby Flay or a Gordon Ramsay guy, Bobby?
If I had to choose, I would take Flay.
Obviously, first name.
Ramsey's
you are a narcissist at heart. That makes sense. My opening take, Jason Tatum is the man. I've told you this before. He's starting to get some credit. They had on the national media, Stephen A. Smith show, the Get Up show. The disrespect Jason Tatum is getting for being the best player on the best team continues, although it shouldn't. We've been telling you for a long time, this kid is great. He's going to be great. He's breaking all kinds of records. I don't know what it's going to take for him to get the respect. He's going to have to get arrested or something, probably. That's how it usually works in the NBA.
You need some street cred.
But until then, they continue to dominate at just the right time as we move into playoffs in a month or so. Celtics are looking up. There's a little question mark there mid-season. But maybe this is – here's the I'm going to bring this full circle. Maybe we'll look back on this in a year or so and go, this is what a championship team actually looks like. Because there's still doubts. We know there's still doubts. Everybody can be one and done. But if they go repeat and then we come back to this and go, yeah, that's what championship teams do. They come back, they hit a lull in the middle of the season because they played a lot of basketball and they get bored, and then they ramp it up when they need to. Maybe, hopefully, that's what we're seeing from the Boston Celtics right now. I'm done. You're real quick on the trigger there, Ray. What we're going to do now is throw it over to producer Ray because I actually my eyes are closed, so I'm not even looking at the screen. And let him lead us through one of the greatest performances in Simple Mind sports history.
Right now?
Go ahead.
By you. Thank you there, Rich. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Bobby?
Well, actually, let me just stop you there, Ray, because at this point in the segment, we do the show rundown. So why don't you tell the listeners what we're going to be listening to tonight?
Not only are you going to be listening to Rich's drunk ass for the night, but we're also going to be talking about the Patriots and the Combine. Mike Vrabel, Elliot Wolf all took the microphone. They talk about who has final say and who doesn't. They also talk to some college kids, Abdul Carter, who's projected number 1, Mason Graham. We have some clips of that. Also, Jason Tatum wanted to shut the Canadian fans up there because of the last game they played. Also, up and down the totem pole are 10 questions with Bobby. I forgot which one we have tonight.
10 questions.
10 questions with a guy named Rob. And then we finish the show with Simplest Minds of the Week. Steve Smith's in the news, and it's a doozy. So there you have it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday Rewind Live Special Edition Wednesday from Las Vegas. Place undisclosed, February 26th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Maye are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
I'll take it from here, Ray. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome, as always. New room for Bobby. Well done. Ray, you look good. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platforms, whether that be Spotify, iTunes, we are the #1 Boston sports podcast on iHeartRadio. We haven't said that in a while, but we are, and we're self-proclaimed on iTunes. So suck my balls. And wherever you're listening or watching, rate, subscribe, review. Tell your friends, as always, tell your mothers. Tell them about our newsletter, which is on SimpleMindSports.com. You're going to get the latest blogs, the latest pods, short for podcasts for all you newbies, and all the relevant entertainment coming from these three idiots. Simply just go to SimpleMindSports.com, put your email in. We'll give it to you every Friday. Real easy and simple. Keep it simple. Stupid. Ray, Mike Vrabel, the combine has started. The NFL season never ends. We are now in the offseason. They're at the combine. Mike Vrabel spoke for, I think the estimate is, let me look at my notes, 4.5 hours, pretty sure, in total. He said a lot of things, as did Elliot Wolf, who did not speak for as long, but just as entertaining of things or thought-provoking of things Elliot Wolf had to say. But more so Mike Vrabel. I know you got some clips, and I know we're running a little bit wild here, a little bit off the cups. So jump them in whenever you want. But if you guys have any initial thoughts on the Mike Vrabel, what do you want to do, a clip?
I want to do a clip. Let me give you Elliot Wolf first.
Last season, ultimately the roster was on me. We were 4-13. Just didn't get enough done. Certainly the free agency class didn't live up to our expectations. The draft class, it's too soon to tell, but we were expecting a bigger impact from some of those guys, and we're still hopeful that they'll get to that point. The fans understanding their frustrations. I share those frustrations. It's been difficult. Every hit on Jacoby or Drake during the season, I felt responsible for that. Just ultimately we didn't get enough done up front. The game is always won on the lines, offensive line, defensive line, not just because of the Super Bowl. It's always been that way. And, ultimately, just didn't do enough to improve the roster to get it to where we need it to be.
Bobby, was he crying?
He sounded like a quibbling child. That is the most saddest sack of an NFL executive that there must be. And I can't imagine that Mike Vrabel wants that man anywhere near him or his football team.
He also sounded like he was nervous, like, I don't know what to do, like, what right now with all the lights. Like first time ever speaking in front of the media, bud? Like, what's going on?
It was just an absolute sad display of someone that's supposed to be an executive.
Yeah, for the confidence that we had with Vrabel and the hires and the coaching hires, it feels like every time they get in front of the mic, well, except for Vrabel, who's as confident as a human being can be. Anytime Elliot Wolf or one of these squids gets in front of the mic, it's like, ooh, shit, like this guy. And I don't know if you have the clip, Ray, but Elliot Wolf was asked who has the final decision in rosters, and this is what he had to say.
Just to clarify, do you have final say on the process?
Ultimately, it's my final say. But again, Mike said it yesterday. Mike wouldn't have taken this job, and this is something we talked about in the interview process. Mike wouldn't have taken this job if we weren't comfortable with each other. There's not going to be Mike's guys or Elliot's guys. They're going to be Patriot guys, and we're excited to share the vision to work together to improve the roster.
Now we want to hear. Didn't Vrabel earlier in the season say he had the final call? Isn't he on
final say when it comes to making personnel decisions?
Well, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have wanted to be the head coach here if I wasn't comfortable in my impact on the roster. So we want to, continue to have great conversations with the personnel staff, with me, with Stretch, with coaching. We're all just trying to find ways to bring the right players in here.
Yes, he did.
Oh, well, okay, wait, no, he didn't actually. He walked right around it, and he initiated, or God damn it, too many fucking beers. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. He made it seem like that he did have final say, but he actually didn't say it. Elliot Wolf actually said it. So we know the hierarchy. Elliot Wolf has final say on the actual roster. Mike Vrabel obviously has massive input on that, and they are trying to coexist together, which I would go, and Bobby said this a long time ago when they didn't fire Elliot Wolf at first. And Bill, I know you're not listening, but fuck you, you're wrong. Elliot Wolf is not gone after the draft. This guy's here to stay. He's a craft plant that they think is good because he's from the Packer system and they like that whole thing. And Elliot Wolf is yet to prove that he can do his job. And now we are 100% reliant. The Patriots are 100% reliant, and Elliot Wolf not bubbling in fucking tears in a negotiation with whatever trade AJ Brown and the Eagles whatever trade thing they're, this is not, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not great. You're not looking at a positive outlook right here. Mike Vrabel exudes a lot of confidence. If you give him the ropes, you probably have a better chance. But I know I'm talking a lot. Let me just say this. Mike Vrabel has never done the front office thing either. Okay, so he has no track record of being good at this either, especially not in trades. I'm sure in Tennessee it's reported he had a lot of input in the drafts, but he was never the final call, and those drafts are not that great anyway. So, look, you've got a massive question mark in the front office and personnel department for the New England Patriots right now. And again, this goes back to the crafts. They could have solved this when they blew everybody else out. They could have brought in a very experienced general manager to team up with Mike Vrabel to walk him through what it takes to run a front office in the NFL. And they didn't. They stuck with their guy, Elliot Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, execs are just as aggressive as coaches and the players. There's a reason why they get there. There's wolves and sheep, and Elliot Wolf is no wolf. He's a sheep, and the rest of the NFL decision makers will know that, and they'll walk right through him. He's literally crying in an interview where he's having to be accountable for himself. So they're going to take him seriously when they try and trade back, or whenever they try and do anything with other teams, when they're trying to move assets, they will fuck with the Patriots. They will take what they want. They just won't do the deal because they know that they don't need to, and there's no respect there. There has to be respect amongst executives in order for them to be able to do this sort of business. At best, Wolf is a spreadsheet guy. He isn't someone that can manage the relationships and the businesses needed for a successful organization like this.
It reminds me at lunchtime with you guys, like pretty much I'm Elliot Wolf and you guys are other general managers in the NFL. And I go, hey, Bobby, can I have your pudding? He goes, no, fuck you. Give me Drake Maye and your first round pick tomorrow. And I'll be like, okay, that sounds like a swell deal. I don't want any trouble here. Here, Bobby, have all that.
That actually is very astutely close to what our lunches in high school were like when we played the I Call It game. And we would just call lunches off of people's plates. And you
had to do something like chug your milk.
No, you guys always used to say, I call you take care of all the trash at the table. And like every day I'd stay late and pick up trash on the end of the table.
For all the young folks listening, that's called respect for your friends and authority of the game, okay? Which is what we don't see a lot.
We don't see it anymore.
We did a lot of shit like that, which was a lot of fun that I think these kids would appreciate the respect that it takes that you learn.
There's no authority figure, saying you have to do it because he called it. No, you just had respect for the game, so you did it.
Yeah,
and then you know that later you'll make a call and you expect that call to be completed in its entirety.
That's right.
Yeah, like when I say no, fuck your mother, Bobby, I fucked her gut.
Yeah, I say you call. I say no authority, but if you did not comply, there was a heavy chance you had a week of cock slaps coming your way. So. I guess
you only do it once. There's one time you're like, you're not gonna get cock slap me, and then you fucking do it, and you're like,
There's actually a pretty salient comment from Superfan Patrick. If you could put him up there real quick. Superfan Patrick says, I don't have any respect for Ray. Then he goes on to say, Bobby is pushing it too. So there you go. Negative Nancy. Grow up, Patrick. Everything sucks right now. Ray lost the job for me, so. Everybody's going to deal with what they got to deal with. Where do we go from here, Ray? You're muted, you dumb fuck.
Want to talk about free agency?
Mike, how would you describe how the team will approach free agency?
Hopefully aggressive. I mean, we want to be aggressive. We want to target players that we feel like are going to help us. they're going to be outstanding players. They're going to be outstanding additions to the locker room and the community. And if that all fits and the compensation fits, but I'm confident that we'll be aggressive. We've started some of those discussions internally. And I think having different plans and having an option A and option B, I mean, things are going to change. Everybody's looking at the same players. So we have to be ready to pivot and adjust and have a vision for each player, I would say, at each level. You know, I mean, there's going to be this high level that things are going to get done very quickly. That'll transition then to, you know, maybe just some mid-range dollars, and then obviously you look at opportunities. So free agency gets broken down into, you know, compensation, and then it gets broken down into opportunity. And I feel like we're in a position to offer both as far as compensation and opportunity for some of these players.
Let me tell you this. As much negativity as we just started this conversation with, I think they have a plan. I think that they're willing to spend. I've been saying this for a year, and at least Ray has been telling me I'm wrong. The Patriots will spend this year. It's now documented. You hear it from Bedard. You hear it from Thugger Maz. The Patriots spend on a 3-year cash cycle, and you have to stay within the parameters of that. And you're out of that now. So 2021, 2022, whenever they had that big spending spree to bring Hunter Henry in here and Jonnu Smith and those guys, you're out of that. So you can redo it. I think they tried to redo it last year. They just failed because Elliott Wolf is a bumbling idiot. So what you have to hope for on the heels of everything we just talked about is Mike Vrabel has enough respect and cachet throughout the league that he can get his voice in there in the negotiations, which I do think will happen, Bobby. I don't think they're sending Elliott Wolf without Mike Vrabel anywhere. I don't think unless like outside of they're already in a contract negotiations. If they're trying to bring a free agent in or they're going for a trade, I think Mike Vrabel is in on every one of those conversations, which I think you need at this point because Elliott Wolf is obviously, as we just stated, inexperienced and not
piss his pants.
Yeah, he has not proven that he can do the job. You have to hope that Mike Vrabel can, not because he has the skills or the experience either, but just that his presence and cachet from his experience in the league lends some support there. Which in this league, it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It goes a long way. And Gerard Mayo, on the contrary, had none of it. He spent his entire career in New England, including his professional career outside of football. He had no contacts outside. So he had nothing to offer there where Vrabel does. Wolf is a deadbeat.
I thought you just said we were being negative about
Wolf
him.
is a deadbeat fuck, and we will see what the season. Well, my family is a bunch of hypocrite assholes, so that's what you get. What's your thoughts on that, there, Bobby? On and also, let me ask this question: did Mike Vrabel just subtly say what Gerard Mayo said a year ago that we're going to burn some cash?
Mm-hmm.
He said it in the exact same thing that Gerard Mayo said. He just didn't say it like an asshole. Yes,
he
just
said
said
it.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, I think they tried to burn some cash last year. I think they wanted Calvin Ridley. They just didn't play the market right, and they lost the player. I think they wanted the San Francisco wide receiver. Help me out.
Not Debo, but the other guy,
Ayuk. Brandon. I think they wanted Brandon Ayuk. You can say what you want about the contract that was reported out, how much of that was guarantees and how much not. We know the Patriots fudged the numbers there, but they put the most money on the table reportedly for Brandon Ayuk. So I think they were looking to spend some money, and it makes sense with the timeline. Again, you just failed. From an executive standpoint, you just failed to get the players. So maybe Drake Maye makes a difference. Maybe Mike Vrabel makes a difference this year.
I agree with Vrabel that. I'm sorry, go ahead, Raymond, then I'll go.
Do you think that if you get T. Higgins still, because you can get him via trade, or you get a DK Metcalf, that now you're willing to spend the cash? And obviously that Mayo was here last year and you weren't going to get any of these kind of guys, nor the quarterback landscape. Now you have Drake Maye going into year 2, more experience, better quarterback than anything you had last year.
I think, look, I don't have faith in Elliott Wolf because why should I? He has no experience of being successful, and in his one chance to do it, he failed in every aspect. He just told that while he cried into a cereal. However, with opportunity and experience generally comes better results. So I'm sure he's learned from last year. I'm sure they've learned from last year. I don't think they explored any trades last year where probably they should have. They just went for free agents. So we got a bunch of money. We're going to go get Calvin Ridley and boost up our team there. Also, their approach was bring everybody back because we think Bill Belichick was the problem. So we'll elevate everybody that's already here for cheap and fill the gaps. Look, they failed everywhere. But with that failed experience, maybe Elliott Wolf can be better at his job.
Yeah.
My comment here is twofold. One, to your point about re-upping everybody, I would not be surprised if they use some of all this cap space to cut some of these players that they gave money to last year and blow them out because they're malcontent assholes. There isn't enough good players in free agency to spend all that fucking money because Stanley's going to get signed, Higgins is going to get signed, all the good players are going to get signed unless they're going to sign a bunch of mid-level guys. I think they're going to blow some of these guys out that they don't want there and take the hit and then just roll over that actual money, what really matters, the real money, until they can have guys to spend it. To your Vrabel point, I think there is a sound of him saying that how he would approach the free agent market, how he's done it in the past, how he uses other player testimonials, and how he would describe how he would use the player and incorporate the player. So he did actually talk about it. There was sound.
Huh, there you go.
Well, you could have sent that along.
He sent
Fair
us
enough.
questions, man. What more do you want from him?
I'm sorry.
Right, moving on.
Yep.
Do you view this as a long-term rebuild, or you just mentioned you're looking to be aggressive in free agency? Are you looking for a rapid rate of improvement?
Well, we have to improve. I mean, I think that's the goal. I don't, our expectations aren't going to change. It's going to be to win the division. It's going to be to host home playoff games, and it's going to be to compete for championships. So we're never going to put a timetable or any sort of prediction on when that may happen, but it has to happen. And it's going to start April 7th when our guys come in. And we also have to understand that, we're not going to fix every issue on the first day of free agency, or we're not going to fill every hole on the first or second day of the draft.
Thanks, Mike. Speaking of filling holes, what's Irene up to tonight, Raymond? I'm in Vegas. She's got to have an empty slot in her schedule.
I like how you did that. Casino slots.
Thank you. Yeah, couple. That's called the Inception version of sexual innuendos, juvenile sexual innuendos.
Again,
Double
something
layered.
that kids don't fucking get anymore.
Double layered. Like,
Do
your
they
mother's
even make
labia.
sex jokes anymore, or they just talk about video games?
I don't know.
Yeah, fucking
Video
nerds.
games are for fucking losers. How's your Fortnite career going, Ray?
Pretty good. I had a victory royale tonight. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Victory Royale is what we call what we call it at your mother's when we do anal.
Exactly, with a lot of guys.
That's gay.
Oh yeah. That one didn't come off as well as you wanted to, Bobby.
No.
I need to take these comments off. So I keep reading the comments and I can't do that. I get very distracted.
Well, because your cousin doesn't shut the fuck up.
Also,
You can't make sex jokes anymore because you'd have to assume someone's. He said it, not me. I didn't say it. He said
that's racist, Patrick. I think.
That's
Well, we're
very
both
racist.
we're into whatever, so it doesn't matter. We'll deal with it.
We are very gender neutral here.
Yeah, exactly.
We are fluid as fluid can be.
Yeah, we'll fill whatever hole you give us.
Bingo.
We just prefer it's your mother's ass.
Yeah.
Bingo again.
Bingo again. All right. Final thoughts on. You got any more clips there, Ray?
I like to shop like everybody else, and so when you go and there's only one of a certain car, maybe you have to pay a little bit more for that one car because there's only one of them. When you start to get into a range where you feel like there's an area where players are comparable and you like 3 or 4 players in a certain area for a certain role, you may not have to overspend. But it's free agency. I think that everybody overspends sometimes in free agency.
I told you this guy talked for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's very nice.
How many clips do you get from one day at the friggin'
He
combine?
seems to enjoy being up on the podium.
Yikes.
Well, at least he can enunciate, unlike Gerard Mayo. That guy.
Jordan Mayo enunciated. He just enunciated through corporate swag bullshit.
Yeah.
Every other thing out of his mouth was some type of catchphrase. Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else? We got any final thoughts on Braves and the Patriots offseason as we move forward to the combine? We've got free agency starts next week, right? 7th?
Yeah,
March
next week.
7th?
Devin Godchow has gotten permission to seek a trade. That's another breaking news that we had today.
Here's what I don't know if there was one in these clips or not because I'm not paying attention. Mike Vrabel was asked, about the roster, and he said basically, we're expecting to have a very different roster now from August. And hip hip hooray, huzzah, Mike. That's what certainly you need. And Bobby made the point of they probably cut a bunch of these malcontent douchebags. Which, like anybody that has a sour taste from previous regime should go. You're not giving up a lot of any talent outside of Christian Gonzalez and Drake Maye, Mike and Winu maybe. If Julius Peppers is kind of a fucking wild card prick and carrying over from his charge that was not a charge, he was acquitted on that, or whoever, name the guy that maybe has potential but as a distraction. Yeah, you got to get rid of that guy. Godchow, who Bill Belichick called one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, has been overpaid for years. He has been the loudest voice out of that locker room from a place of malcontent.
Yep.
And honestly, not a lot of it was like speaking out of turn. What we knew it was a shit show in there, and he was basically just letting everybody know. But you want foxhole guys, and it got to a point where
not one.
It doesn't seem like
the team either. They're not what they're going to do with their linemen, so I don't think that they want them.
So whatever, seek your trade, and what do you get for Devin Gotcho? A fifth, a sixth?
Yeah,
sure.
Whatever bullshit pick for a team that wants him.
Sure, and you'll eat his money and whatever. Get him out of here. I'm fine with that. I like a brand new roster. We've gone over the positions. Maybe we'll do that next week as free agency starts, kind of re-hone on the positions of need and what they should do. Last point I'll make, Bedard made this point. I listened to it today, covering Belichick. What Belichick would do in free agency, of the needs on the roster, of the positions, he would fill every single need in free agency with some level of player, some level of NFL caliber player. Maybe not a starter, maybe not even a second string guy, but somebody that could be competent and through coaching get in there and play for him. So when he got to the draft, he was not relying on the drafts to fill the need of that position.
They don't be a star right away.
Which, makes total sense to me. And Bill Belichick should get a lot of grief for the way he handled the Patriots at the end, certainly. But just on paper, that whole philosophy of, okay, we need a second cornerback. Okay, we need a left tackle. We need a right tackle. We need a defensive end. The Patriots have a lot of holes to fill. Irene joke inserted. Thank you. But if they can go out there in free agency and do a lot of that, so you have professionals on the team, which I have faith in Mike Vrabel identifying, so then you can get to the draft and go, let's find some fucking playmakers, man. Not reaching and not making decisions that are based off need and be based off leverage instead of need. So maybe Vrabel, a little bit of Belichick from that, although it seems like a pretty straightforward strategy.
So we want to get like a Cole Strange this year in the draft, reaching for a lineman that you desperately need and go after him in the first round, and when he's like third round talent.
Yeah, right. It felt like Belichick was just like fucking around, like Scrooge McDuck. I got all the money in the world.
Watch this.
I know what the playbook is, but it's boring to me now. So let me see if I can do it in some weird ass way that no.
What's Kuiper going to say about this?
Asshole. He didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That was Patriots offseason combine. We're gonna do a. Did you do headlines?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We're gonna do a
up and down the totem pole. 10 questions with a guy named.
Bye.